Okay, so I didn't expect that things are going this way. Here's the thing, guys. I already have a recap ready, and I usually publish them one day after the stream, but this recap is special. This recap is delayed until today because it got demonetized several times. This is the very first recap that got demonetized. I have never had any issues with my recap. I somehow managed to get away with lots of stuff, but not this time. Oh no, not this time. I got demonetized for this specific recap, and honestly, I have absolutely no idea why. I have several theories in why, but I still couldn't figure out what caused it. The most likely scenario of this entire thing is that there's a burn notice on me and I am blacklisted. But I don't have all the resources to go after the people that burned me, so the best thing I can do is just to make content as usual, I guess. But hey, at least the story of how my channel got burned is interesting enough. So before we get into the actual recaps of last week, let's talk about how my channel got burned, shall we? So when I found out that this week's recap got demonetized, I made 3 different cuts. I figured that these 3 topics are probably way too raunchy on YouTube, especially in order to follow the advertiser-friendly guidelines. I won't mention which ones because it really doesn't matter at the end. Despite me cutting these 3 segments off, they're all still demonetized. By the way, I still have those 3 segments in this recap because I really don't care at this point. Don't you worry about that. After 3 times I got demonetized, I said screw it. I'm gonna shotgun the crap out of this. Since all of the recaps are split into, small news segments, I decided to render the segments separately and then upload them all separately. I just want to see which part of the recap that got me into trouble. And guess what? All of them are demonetized. All of them! I'm not even kidding. All of them got demonetized. I rendered every section separately, uploaded every section separately. I thought it's just that one section. I thought it was just one specific section out of all of these topics on this video that got me demonetized. No, it's all of them. All of them separately. It's not just the ones that are political. Even the gaming ones, completely non-political. Nothing controversial. That I said nothing controversial in the gaming ones. They're still demonetized. So, I got really confused. What the hell caused all of this demonetization? So I decided to just focus on one segment. One gaming segment on the last week's recap. Nothing political whatsoever. And yet it's still demonetized. I removed the audio on that segment. No audio whatsoever. It's just this, literally no audio. So still demonetized. I removed the video portions. It's just pure audio. No video whatsoever. Still demonetized. And then I decided to take it to the next level. I removed both the video and audio. It's literally a black screen for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Still demonetized. You heard that right. YouTube demonetized a video that's nothing but a black screen and a silence. The automated system is absolutely broken. It destroys creators and it destroys their future prospects. Maybe it's because I abuse the system by constantly re-uploading videos and constantly making the wrong monetization rating. Well, YouTube, if your automated system is broken and marks me as wrong all the time, I wouldn't have to resort to abusing it. Of course, I'm gonna have a bad rating when your automated system is broken. It doesn't matter if you already explained what constitutes as advertiser friendly. If your automated system is still gonna mark me as advertiser unfriendly, regardless of what I tried. YouTube, all I want from you is to give us any useful information. If your automated system thinks that my video is advertiser unfriendly, then tell me why it is. Inform me the specific section that shows why my video is demonetized. Otherwise, I have to wait for a manual review, and even then it's not a clear-cut case. The person doing the manual review doesn't communicate with me. It's almost as if they don't want to know why I got demonetized. They want to keep all those secrets in the back, just for the purpose of the YouTube freaking corporations just to know about it. It's not a public need-to-know basis. So from this point on, and the next recaps in the future, I'm just gonna show you the recap as is. I don't even care if it's monetized or not. In fact, I'm gonna go so far as to not monetize the recap. That's right, I am not monetizing the recap. I'm not monetizing any video that I will upload on this channel. I got a day job anyway, and I don't make a lot of videos anyway, so it's not really that much of a huge loss. Oh sure, my channel will get absolutely destroyed in the algorithms, but hey, what else is new? And thanks to the lack of monetization restriction, I can finally say this sincerely without being worried about any sort of family-friendly restrictions. Ready? Okay, go fuck yourself, YouTube. Whew. I can finally get that out of my system. So anyways, time for the actual recap. Now this recap is from my old footage that I recorded before I knew it's gonna get demonetized, so it's still gonna have less swearing and content. Next week, there will be more hooplas and more swearing. Maybe. Depends on if I want it there or not. Regardless, if you want a full version of where I discuss all of the hooplas with my bro, then check out my stream channel link down below. My brother is also doing his own solo stream. You can check him out in the same channel as well. June is coming, guys, and you know what that means? It's Pride Month! It is that time of the year where all the LGBT people show their pride and joy for being able to go beyond the straight relationships. And it is also time for the big corporations to show their solidarity towards LGBT people by changing their profile pictures or their logo into a rainbow-colored one. The problem is, a lot of these corporations treat LGBT people about as well as Squid Game owners treat its contestants. Let's just say it didn't end very well for them. Even corporations from fiction are starting to do it. We got Weyland Yutani, the same corporations that want to harvest the xenomorphs for money. We got UAC, the corporation that's responsible for bringing demons from hell. We got Umbrella Corporation, the same corporation that's responsible for all sorts of bioweapons, zombie outbreaks, and all sorts of hideous monstrosities. And let's not forget the SCP Foundation, truly showing its solidarity towards LGBT people while ruining the rest of humanity with its many failed attempts on containing all sorts of anomalies. But don't worry, guys. These corporations really care about the LGBT people, and don't worry, guys. These big corporations are just fictional. Big corporations in real life would never ever make hollow and token gestures to a group of minorities while doing the most heinous stuff to not just them, but the rest of humanity. Right? But hey, if you really want to take your LGBT pride to the next level by, oh, I don't know, painting your entire house the rainbow color, please be sure to include the rest of the people along the line too, because otherwise, you're just being a bigot. Sony has released a patch for the PS1 classics on the PS4/PS5 that improves the PAL output. How they improve it is by upscaling the 50Hz PAL output into a 60Hz NTSC output by blending frames. Unfortunately, it results in some horrible ghosting artifacts. I mean, ghosting is to be expected when something gets upscaled a couple of hertz. Maybe it doesn't look as bad as it sounds. Look at the ghosting! Look at the ghosting! The brick! What happened to the brick? How is this crap acceptable, Sony? And you're charging some serious subscription money for this crap. Can you believe why people chose to download your ROMs and emulate games instead? Oh, DuckDuckGo. We meet again in this recap. If you don't know what DuckDuckGo is a search engine like Google or Bing that promises to not keep track on you. I actually use DuckDuckGo's timer for my APB shows, but that's pretty much it. I don't use it for anything else. In one of my recaps, I talked about DuckDuckGo in one of the segments. Why? Because they straight up censor news. No, really, they did. They're going to downrank sites that give fake news involving the Russia and Ukraine situation, and things have gotten worse and worse since then. Right now, they pretty much admitted to everyone that their selling point is not entirely true. The DuckDuckGo browser allows Microsoft trackers due to search agreement. That's right, DuckDuckGo browser allows Microsoft to track you, as if them censoring news isn't bad enough. It doesn't store any personal identifiers with your search queries. Microsoft ads may track your IP address and other information when clicking on ad link for accounting purposes. It also allows trackers from Bing and LinkedIn as well. They have a complete response to the article. You can read it yourself, but it basically boils down to, yeah, we still have some tracker, but at least our browser doesn't track as much as the competition. Okay?
It's a weird flex, but sure.
At the end of the day, this really isn't a good look at all. No matter how you try to spin it, people just don't like seeing you associating yourself with a huge company like Microsoft. They're the reason why you exist in the first place, because big companies like Microsoft don't treat people that that well. At the end of the day, this is just not a good look for DuckDuckGo, and they're not doing a really good job at convincing me and a lot of people otherwise. Here's an old post from 2018. This person over here complains about a move from a fighting game called Absolute Premonition. Apparently, the person complained that this is just a worse whole horse. Wait, whole horse? As in that prick from JoJo Part 3? Yes! Whole Horse, that prick from JoJo Part 3, one of the very few memorable villains in that part. I looked the combo up, and it turns out that it's from the JoJo Part 3 game by Capcom called Heritage for the Future, which was released back in '99. Anyway, the person complained that the Absolute Premonition combo looks like a random bunch of random directions that no humans could press in a short amount of time to activate it. That's just full circle. That's just full circle. You know what? Maybe the actual combo in the game is really hard. So I got the HD version on RPCS3 and I tried to combo myself in the training mode. The character is Whole Horse and that other prick Boingo, that kid with the book that predicts the future. And yeah, guys, it's really tough. It's so tough that I could pull it off twice in a row. I'm not even good at fighting games or good at games in general, especially ones that require any of the circle inputs, but seriously? It can't comprehend that? Speaking of JoJo, the most definitive JoJo fighting game experience, All-Star Battle, was only available on the PS3. Thankfully for all of you JoJo fans who no doubt only got to the series in the last few decades or so, All-Star Battle is coming to the modern platforms, including the PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and the PC on Steam with an updated re-release. I can't wait for this game to be out, but I just find it really funny how the box art for the Switch version needs to push Jonathan so far down the rest of the JoJos just so that his face don't get blocked by the Nintendo Switch logo. They also moved Joseph slightly down, but they didn't move the last two characters, namely Johnny and Part 8 Josuke slightly down. I don't know, I just don't find that very symmetrical. Apparently, the officials that handled the recent shooting said that the individual who did the shooting was into cyber gaming, as opposed to non-cyber gaming. And he also looked into group gaming. You know, it's kind of funny how I think the people in America think that all cops are bastards. I'll introduce the second theory. All cops are buffoons. But the buffoonery gets worse. Not on the cop side, but on the human being side. If you work on a video game that uses modern-day firearms to shoot other humans, you need a real hard look in the mirror tonight. That's right. If you're a game developer, feel guilty that you make games that include real guns. That includes you, US Army, for developing America's Army, an actual game that they develop and publish, and you can actually play right now and available on Steam. The most bewildering thing from this guy is when he said this: guns are prevalent in the US because of our culture. Guns are prevalent in the US because of a culture? The gaming culture? The US culture? The media culture? Yeah, apparently guns are prevalent in the US because people love to watch and play a lot of stuff in media that involve guns. Not because guns are incredibly effective tools to cause fatal wounds to people and animals and everything else in life. If we could just ban all depictions of guns in media, I'm sure that would definitely cause in real life guns to cease to exist. That's pretty much what I'm getting from all of these complaints. Is that what you're trying to say? Fiction doesn't affect reality. People think that cats can drink milk. You do realize that we can just Google stuff, right? You do know that we can just look up what cats can and cannot drink, right? You do know that people have the ability to double check and see if the knowledge that they got from fiction are actually compatible with reality. But hey, if you're the kind of person who gets their knowledge of reality from fiction, be prepared to get slammed by the harshness of reality. I am on the opinion that fan service can be absolutely fantastic and shouldn't be instantly dismissed. Appealing to humanity's most basic instincts is a pretty nice way to entertain them. This applies to both genders. Not just one. I want fan service for the ladies, and I also want fan service for the gents. We used to live in a society where fan service swings both sides, and people are absolutely fine with it. Unfortunately, right now, thanks to the absolutely backwards moves from the progressive, it's only the women who gets the fan service. The men can't get the fan service because men are evil, and women are precious and should be protected at all costs. But at the same time, they're also strong and independent who don't need no man.
How progressive.
This is incredibly more apparent thanks to Thor Love and Thunder's trailer, where in the trailer, Thor is literally stripped naked and the trailer had to literally pixelate his butt. And you know what? That's great. Chris Hemsworth is a really nice looking dude, and I'm glad that the ladies got their fan service. What about the guys though? What about a scene with Natalie Portman being nearly naked? And this doesn't stop the Twitter users to justify this as much as they can, with a really crappy long text meme no less. If women are sexualized, then they are most likely gonna get sexually harassed. So that means sexualization in general is bad. You know, because if people got sexualized, then they will most likely get sexually harassed in real life, right? But it's okay if it's the men who get it, because men can defend themselves, while women can't.
How progressive.
By this logic, girls who do 18 plus works on the internet are also contributing to women being sexually harassed in the real world. Also, if women get sexualized, women in real life can't be taken seriously. That they can do all sorts of stuff, but if they got sexualized in media, people are not going to be taking them seriously when they do all these sorts of serious stuff. So girls who make 18 plus content also contribute into the stigma and therefore shouldn't be taken seriously as human beings. Right?
How progressive.
You're suggesting people can't differentiate between fictional characters and real people, and that they will treat them the exact same way. At the end of the day, I want fan service for everyone. Fully naked Chris Hemsworth, I'm all for it, and I'm not even gay. But hey, the ladies love him, the gay men love him, people who like Chris Hemsworth in general love him. We just need a fully naked Natalie Portman. Oh no, wait, we can't get that in the MCU. Thank you, Western culture. Thank you, the Me Too movement, and the jackasses at Hollywood that loves to harass women. You know what? I take that back. Fix Hollywood in general first before we talk about fan service. You know how a cult following movie or cult following thing tends to be reviewed well but sold like crap? I'm basically paraphrasing Yahtzee here, but there's a curious case where something is absolute crap, sold like crap, but gets a cult following anyway. Yahtzee always points this to Deadly Premonition series, and now we have a film that somehow manages to achieve that. Morbius. I don't understand why this movie gets ridiculously popular the moment it hits digital. Everyone is talking about Morbius in the most ironic way possible. It's like the movie is the superhero equivalent of The Room. I've seen countless of people just saying it's Morbing time. The movie never actually said that, to a lot of people's disappointment when they actually watched the movie. And Sony is apparently going to greenlit a sequel too. You brought this on yourselves, guys. What's even funnier is that the movie is streamed on Twitch for 24/7 for everyone's viewing pleasure, or displeasure, depending on your perspective. It got taken down eventually, but when it happened, it was pretty glorious. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Morbius. I just don't get it. And finally, here's a bit of a message for the boomers out there. We're living in a digital age where most, if not all of the successful people out there rely on technology in order to survive. If you're not going to take some time to learn how to utilize that technology for your benefit, then the only person that you're going to disadvantage is you. So when I see articles like this, I'm starting to wonder if parents are actually making any efforts in. How is that a real job? Parents struggle to keep with children's career options. Survey finds many feel overwhelmed as their children express interest in jobs they know nothing about. Yeah, that's what happens if parents don't understand tech and aren't willing to take their spare time to learn about what their kids are doing. The first paragraph is about a kid asking his parents about pursuing his dreams about becoming a UX designer. Okay, kid, hold on a second. Are you aware of your parents' digital knowledge or digital literacy in general? What makes you think that your parents can have any words about tech jobs when even they have no idea what the job is about? It's about as successful as asking your grandma in how to troubleshoot your broken tablet. Even when he explained that the role has something to do with behind the scenes online design, the mother is still confused. I feel like I failed as a parent. My job as a parent is to open doors so my children can achieve their potential. But how can I do that when I don't even understand what their ambitions are? Then understand them? It's just a couple of Google searches away, madam. Granted, UX is a pretty broad term and it has loads of jobs and roles in it, but there are loads of information online that can clarify you in that regard. The only reason why you failed as a parent is that you're not willing to do some research in what the job is about so that you can help your son to get through it. One segment of the article deals with children who said that they want to be streamers. Don't. Seriously. Don't do that. When you are famous, you will be a punching bag to a lot of people. And I mean that. The more famous you are, the bigger you'll be as a punching bag for people to just mock, make fun of, bully, all of that. That's why I discourage people in general from making internet content, especially as a job. They are opening themselves to public scrutiny, and the public is not very nice. If you can deal with the public backlash, great. But don't say I didn't warn you. The parents are then like, how's that a real job when all they do is play computer games all day? Simple. They either got donations from the viewers or they got ad revenue. Both of which are never ever consistent and sustainable, and if you want to make it so, it's gonna stress you out before you even know it. Yes, parents don't realize that, but that's the thing. They should. They should know about all of this. And it's not like it's a hard thing. They can spend just 10 minutes to read some articles and they'll know how to use them properly. In fact, I encourage you all to take some time to improve your digital literacy. This world really does benefit people who are smart, especially if you're smart with technology. You can save a lot of money by just looking up a lot of information on the internet and learning a bunch of stuff. I mean, that's how I got my knowledge and all sorts of stuff related to tech. So if I can do it, then so can you. And there you go. That is the very last installment of the advertiser-friendly APB Recap. The rest of the recaps will have no ads, no restrictions, no need to submit to the YouTube algorithms, more raunchy hooplas. It's gonna be even better. And all of this wouldn't be possible without all of your support. So guys, please support this channel by checking the links down below, PayPal, Patreon, however you like. But the absolute best way to support this channel is if you go to my stream channel, link down below, go subscribe, and drop $1 on Stream Elements. I'll be streaming every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'll see you there soon. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.